Okay.
So how was
Carry
that
on,
doing
carry
it?
on,
How was
carry
that
on.
doing the heart of the city representing St. Louis?
Dope, man. It was super dope. And like, God dope, man. Because this will happen real quick. I'll make it real quick because I know we ain't got a lot of time. Okay, 2.5 years ago, I won the Shaq All-Star Comedy Jam.
Stop acting like you.
Right? I won the Shaq All-Star
Yeah,
Comedy
can you
Jam
talk into the microphone,
2 years
Princeton?
ago in Texas. I beat out everybody there.
Country boy.
And then I lost when I went to
Congratulations.
LA. And it's a good thing
That's
I lost.
okay.
It was
Okay.
a good thing I lost because I was trying to come up with stuff for that, and I should have stayed to my regular set that got me to
He
win.
lost because he wore some Shaq shoes.
I did. I wore Shaq shoes too. I
He
did
tried
that
to
too.
get some
I did.
extra-
Oh, that was the
Yes,
prize?
yes.
Yeah.
If
No.
you win the comedy show, you get Shaq shoes?
No, I bought them for
Oh,
my joke.
I was about
and
to
it
For the
say,
joke,
nigga.
and it didn't
didn't go like I
pan.
thought
That's
it was
some
gonna go.
cheap ass
No.
shit there.
So I said, you know what? My best friend ended up winning to my other best friend. Wildcat won, and that's a good thing. So when we had the competition here, I ended up winning. Here, was chosen one of the three, and I got a standing ovation. And it was dope. Kevin treated us super, super good.
Yeah,
super
Kevin's
dope.
good people.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, I felt like for them last 2 weeks. after
Shout
I
out to
taped,
Kevin Hart
like,
too, man. Get well soon,
I
brother.
didn't feel like that.
He got it.
Yeah.
Shit, he good now.
You know, he's
Yeah.
rehabbing, but he ain't 100%. But you
No.
know what I
He ain't
mean?
in no rush to come back either. He enjoying it.
Exactly, exactly.
He's such a businessman. He took this tragic event, capitalized on it,
Of
made
course.
a documentary out of it.
Of course.
And got something else to sell.
It's called
That man's a
content.
Businessman.
It's called
Hey,
content.
let me tell you something.
It's
In this
actually
day and
parallel.
age, you get it. Like you gotta understand that content is king,
Content
and,
is
and you
king.
can sit on it, and you can
Absolutely.
rehash it, and shit, just do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm with it. And
Constantly
he-
creating, man.
Always.
Constantly creating.
How have you been able to? Because obviously your career it spans so long, and things have changed so much. When did you know that you needed to jump on the social media thing? Did you do it
Great
immediately?
question. Great question. It's crazy. I was late on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of, and I'm not trying to sound any type of cocky when I say this. It's just the truth. You got to think about it. There's those of us that got famous way before this shit,
Exactly.
right? So
And some of y'all haven't embraced it.
exactly. So social media is just to me an amazing tool, right? I was like, okay, I'm already, done 10, 15 movies, been on TV all these years. But when I started seeing non-funny niggas
Hello.
and people that aren't even talented blow up from this bitch, I was like, wait till you get a load of me.
Right, winning.
I'm like, nigga, don't give me a AK-47 with an extra extended clip. Because, nigga, I'm really
I'm about
funny
to show
and
you something.
really talented.
Yeah.
Let me shit on a few niggas right quick,
Damn,
real
why
fast.
you gotta shit on them now?
I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? So long story
Gotta
short,
talk that shit a little bit though, Staci. When you good at something and you know you good at it, like there are arenas where you're allowed to talk your shit. Now we just in regular conversation outside, but when you're talking about that ring,
yeah.
yeah.
oh, don't fuck with me.
No, exactly.
But I be
And
trying
I'm
to
a
figure
humble-
out when I should talk my shit though. Like
Wait.
Staci, you are St. Louis. You can anywhere in St. Louis you can talk your shit.
I don't do
It
it
ain't
though.
nowhere that you can go where somebody can't say they don't know your name. They might not have met you, but motherfuckers know Staci Static anywhere in this city.
Okay.
20 years on the radio, please.
So here's the
Fuck that
thing.
shit.
Humble
I
is
love
a
you.
good thing, right? And everybody that knows me, I'm not even a shit talking type guy. But
You talk shit,
sometimes
stop
you
it.
gotta let niggas know.
Say yourself, baby boy.
Sometimes you gotta, it's like, don't mistake my kindness for a weakness.
Let them know.
So sometimes you gotta let motherfuckers, especially when I hate to say it, some of these new niggas forget.
No.
So what happens is sometimes out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes people be like, what have you done lately? I'm like, nigga, first of all, when you were 2 years old, I was on TV.
Ooh.
Way before you ever thought about telling a motherfucking joke. You
Okay,
understand what I mean?
uh-huh.
And again, I'm not saying this without saying any fucking names. So what I figured with social media, I was like, it was kind of a way to, if you forgot,
Oh.
I'm gonna let you know. That was the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing, I was like, okay, it's great to promote what you got going on.
Always.
You know, I figured out a way to stay relevant. I figured out a way. You got to think about it. People that started when I started in the Def Comedy Jam days and the BET comedy. Nothing against them, but there's niggas that are nowhere to be found.
Nowhere.
Right? Whatever the reason may have been, whether it was jail, whether it was drugs, whether it was baby mamas, whether it was whatever happened, they
Right.
weren't able to continue on.
Exactly.
So you got to. I respect the veterans and the guys that paved the way, that found a way to still stay relevant. I'm gonna use three examples of three people.
Okay.
Russell Simmons, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
Guys that have had hits in every generation, in every era, and they're still going. That's how I look at myself, because I could have been done with this a long time ago. I could have been like, I made my money. Shit, nigga, I wrote 88 episodes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I worked on one of the biggest TV shows of all time.
Yeah.
Those residuals still come all day, every day. I could never tell another joke in my life and be okay.
And you ain't got no string of baby mamas.
Exactly. But I said, you know what? I love what I do, and I'm gonna continue doing. That's very true.
Yeah.
Not one bitch can say, I'm the father. Other than my wife, Brazy Thomas, who I love. So long story short, I said, you know what? Let me utilize this to stay relevant. So I said, you know what? I've been writing skits and sketches and making other people rich for years. You know what I mean? I wrote for some of the biggest comics that ever did it. From Martin to Jamie to Will Smith to the Wayans family and all this stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create my own skits and sketches. So I don't do them like these young dudes. To hear it tell you, some of these young dudes, they can do 6 sketches a week because, nigga, they don't have jobs and no responsibilities. Yeah. If I was a young, like in my early days of comedy, if this bitch was around, I would have been that guy doing 6 a week. Yeah. No, I'm like, no, I'm going to do 4 a month. But when I do them, they're going to hit huge. It's called working smarter, not harder.
Always. Well, that's what.
Because I know the blueprint and the formula.
Yeah, at the point of your career, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be out here just creating content constantly.
I work harder.
Because
I make a video every day.
And I'm not mad at you because, first of all, to hear compliment to you, you're funny as fuck.
I appreciate it.
And nigga, I've watched your videos and you're clever, you're smart, and what you have on your side, what we really didn't have, what I appreciate, and I'm even learning from guys like you, it's like the news and the shit that happens every day becomes your material.
Yeah.
You're never going to run out of shit because all you got to do is watch and comment. Now, that's what I wish we had. Don't get me wrong. There was news back then.
Yeah.
Right.
But we didn't have this motherfucker right here.
That man.
So it keeps you out there, but you still, I like you because you're funny as fuck on this, but you also have your material and your real life. And so you found a great way to mix it up. So I just got to tell you that because I appreciate it.
And that's an important thing because a lot of these people who are like Instagram comedians or social media comedians, I hear that they live show is trash.
Yeah, it's a couple I won't name.
And I'm not going to say, I'll let you go first.
I'm on shows with them.
Thank you, but preach because I'm going to back you up on it.
Yeah.
Make sure you got a good look.
I mean, but you got to have a love for comedy. And I have such respect for stand-up comedians. And if you don't really like respect the craft, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, come on now, because I have more respect for it and I'm not out there trying to do it.
Blood, sweat, and tears that goes into this game. And I want you to don't forget what you're going to say. There's blood, sweat, and tears and goes into this game, right? So with this, social media has made these new niggas think it's easy. Because it's 1 minute. Okay, now we have IGTV and you can keep going. But nigga, there's a difference between holding this up your face and be like, I'm fit to be funny versus 500 people. There's the crowd of 500 strangers. Here's the mic. Nigga, you're next.
And
now impress me when you do 15, 20 minutes, not 1, 5, 6 minutes on this.
You know what the thing is? Social media has given a lot of people a speed pass. Like you go to Six Flags.
Thank you,
right?
Preach.
Like, the difference between going to Six Flags and doing comedy is you don't have to prepare for that. Like you get to the front of the line, you can just go have fun.
Exactly.
You can't just have fun on the stage, unless you have the proper tools to go to work first.
Yeah.
Right. So you jump to the front of the line, you're not prepared for it, and all you got is catchphrases. And you get up there, that's only gonna last you a minute and a half. Right. There are no resets when you get on the stage.
Exactly.
Comedy is one of the hardest.
No background dancers. No producers. No writers.
To master because you don't have anything other than your words to connect with the people. There's no beat.
Right.
Like sometimes you go see an artist, you might not like all their songs, but you might be like, oh, this keyboard is clouded.
Right.
This is clouded.
Exactly.
You know, I love this beat.
Yeah.
It's you in a sea of white eyeballs looking at you, waiting to see if they should give you their attention and their laughter.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the skills to whip them over the head in the first minute and a half, you will lose them.
Out of there.
And that 15-minute set will seem like an hour on stage.
I thought you were about to say something. But I'm going to say it for you because I know you're going to have a comment on this.
I know you is, Alex.
So here it is. These niggas that call themselves comedians, right? I'm a comedian, right? And let's say they have, let's just throw a low number. 5 million
I want
followers.
y'all to name names.
Hold on. No. Look, hold on. 5 minutes. Say they have 5 million followers.
Right.
This nigga don't have 4 minutes of material on stage.
Stop playing.
Talk to him.
Listen, I'm gonna give y'all.
What they think they Mike Epps? They can just get up there and
I'm
joan?
gonna give you some tools or some secrets of when a comic's not doing its best.
Give me some
These
tea.
are some of the things they do. Shit crazy.
Crazy.
Shit crazy.
Can I throw one in there? Can I throw one in there?
Yeah.
I just came up here to fuck with y'all.
Right. Or the other one is, woo, what else is going on?
Right.
Where the birthday is at? Any birthdays in the house?
One more.
What, they done turned into a clubhouse?
Hey, real quick. So what y'all want to talk about?
God is good.
Give it up for the ladies. Give it up for the
ladies.
ladies. Good. Give it up for the ladies.
They are not doing that on paid gigs, bro.
But and that's why you want to. Let's say it together. That's their last paid gig.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Nigga, the truth came out.
Yeah.
You weren't able because promoters
Word gets
talk.
around.
No,
people
because
talk.
you just said you be on shows with them.
No, they still get booked.
Some
Some
of them do enough to get by.
to get by. There
Some
it
of
is.
them will never do it again.
But the truth is, it's gonna come out, and the bottom line is, when people pay $75, $50, $100 to come see you, and with this motherfucker called social media, imagine let's just take a small number, 1,500 people in the crowd, and you bomb and you're horrible. Nigga, you best believe 1,000 of them are taken to this motherfucker immediately and go,
Oh, yeah.
such and
Trash.
such sucks.
St. Louis
We
ain't
just
the
wait.
worst.
Y'all heard about
We
what happened
move
with the No
Master
Limit
P.
concert?
St. Louis don't play.
Did you hear about that? No
We
Limit.
move Master
No
P.
Limit got booed last week.
Yes.
Oh, tell me about that. I didn't know that.
They boo about it. They booing everybody.
Why did they boo Master
They
P?
wasn't about it.
Was he in concert?
Yes.
Different.
It was a No Limit
concert.
reunion tour. It was Silk the Shaka,
Did Mystical, or is he
Fiend,
still in jail?
Mystical was
Mystical
there.
was
He was
the only one
here.
that did it
They
well.
said Mystical. Shouts out to Mystical and DJ
love
Cut
that
because
nigga,
they were the
Mystical.
stars of the show.
He getting out of
Low
jail.
key though, rest his soul. St. Louis booed Charlie Murphy when he came
Yeah,
at the Fox Theater.
they sure did. I was there for that
St.
concert.
Louis is a hard city.
We
you
don't
have
play.
to bring it, and you can't be up there bullshit.
And
Well,
Charlie
there's a
said,
story.
"Fuck y'all,
There's
man."
a story. I could not say this, but fuck it. We're on a podcast. I might as well let the shit out. So,
Yeah, you
long
been
story
cussing
short,
and clowning the whole
I know
time.
the whole family.
Look at the logo on his
Right,
sweater.
cussing and clowning.
Right.
That's
Go
the
ahead.
clown. I know the whole family,
I'm
and
gonna say it anyway.
yes, shout out to Charlie Murphy. But I gotta be honest and give you the opinion of this. So Charlie's one of those guys. We all know people that are funny, but not necessarily a stand-up. Right. So yes, we've always known him. We knew him as Eddie Murphy's brother.
Absolutely.
And then the second part of the big fame was the Chappelle Show.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of guys out there that are very funny character actors. So when you're sitting there watching them and you're dying laughing, ooh, that dude is funny, right? Not really knowing the average person at home, they wrote that script for him, and he bought what he brought to it, and he was very funny.
Right.
The problem is when guys take it to go, hey, now I'm a stand-up comic, thinking that just because you're funny on TV, just because you're funny on movies, you can now get away with it in front of a live crowd. So what happened with Charlie Murphy in St. Louis, like the truth really did come out. Yeah, we know you, and you're very funny.
Yeah.
And I watch Chappelle's show every
love
day.
it.
And I love Eddie Murphy, and I love that you're Eddie Murphy's brother.
Right.
But tonight,
Yes.
right now,
Yes.
on this stage, you have to perform. And at that particular time, he had not been working out as a stand-up comic. He thought just from that fame alone, that's going to save me, and it didn't, and that's what happened.
It was a Mike Epps. It was a Mike
And
Epps.
that's when he got booed. So unfortunately, that happens to. I'm gonna give you two examples. Anthony Anderson,
Yeah.
not booed, but what I'm saying is he's known as a funny guy.
He's a comedic actor.
He's a comedic actor. His TV shows, his movies, you die laughing. But the minute he gets booked as hey, you should host the show in St. Louis. Really, it's almost like saying, don't try to do jokes. Be you.
Be you.
Be funny.
And be a host.
Just enough to go. This first
charismatic.
nigga coming on stage.
Yeah.
And that's all your job. You're like the
all your-
I
quarterback.
saw him host something, and some of his jokes didn't really land. It was the United Negro College Fund.
Because he's not really a
thing.
comedian. Anthony's great when he hosts shows and comedians are writing jokes for him.
Oh, okay.
Because I know all the comics and everybody that writes.
even-
Oh, boy was on that show writing.
Chris Spencer. Who's
How
one-
did you
who's-
know?
is
Yeah. Okay.
my best friend.
Okay. That's your best friend?
In my wedding.
Oh, I didn't know that was
We
your
started
best
out
friend.
together, so I
It's
know the
eight
real
black
Yeah,
inside.
so okay, he
Yeah.
must have been right.
The same top 8 black writers get picked in LA when it comes to comedy shows.
Okay.
Comedy shows and award shows.
Yeah.
Alex,
Yeah.
Chris Spencer, Mitch,
Johnny Mack.
Johnny Mack.
I mean, we worked hard to get to that position.
Yeah.
Right.
But the point was, Charlie Murphy, rest his soul, super funny guy, great personality. He just wasn't a stand-up. What it should have been, the answer should have been when they go, hey, man, can you come do 30 minutes in this particular city? Instead of
Right.
taking the money, hold up, let me work out and get a nice little act together first.
Exactly.
But sometimes that money is so nice and they
That
give it
money
to
be
you.
nice.
It'd be like, nigga, I'm going to go out there
All
and try
right,
and hope
so-
I can get away
so
with
another
it.
question then, since we talking about the Murphys, how do you feel about Eddie coming back to stand-up?
I'll let you go first.
I
Love
love it.
Vincent ruin your career.
Nah, That is one of them with it. That is one of them.
That is everything you
one of
say.
them.
Huh?
Alex been taking the mic from everybody. Now,
I'm sorry.
you
Hey,
started-
I'm sorry.
Nah,
I got
he
so
said it
much
like
to say.
that.
Yeah. Nigga, the rope is moving fast.
what I
Jump
like-
in, nigga.
what I
Double
like about
dutch.
Eddie, I like how he's building himself up forward. I think he gonna kill. I think he gonna do good. Do I think he gonna be the same Eddie? No, because I think he gonna limit himself a little bit. But I do think he gonna kill. I know he gonna kill, but I think he gonna put some limitations on how he can stretch it out there and throw it. But I know he gonna kill.
Okay. All right.
See
See
here?
here.
I don't know if he's ever really gonna come back. I feel like comedy is most relatable when you're going through something, and Eddie has been rich for the last 35, 40 years.
Very much so.
The only thing he's been going through is expired bank cards. Like,
And should I get the new Bentley or the new Phantom helicopter?
Yeah,
want
Russell
the
Simmons said the
convertible.
funniest shit about him in his first book. He was just like, Eddie Murphy lives a different reality from everybody else. Like,
Eddie
nobody
Murphy-
has as much money.
I was reading something and they were talking about Eddie Murphy, and they was like, Eddie Murphy really used to come to the Comedy Store, to Laugh Factory, like the regular club, not on regular like weekend nights, like on a Wednesday or Tuesday, and really have on leather pants and the leather jacket with no shirt and gold chains on. Like, that's the life he lived, like in the 80s and 90s.
And y'all don't think that he can grind it out? What I mean,
I'm
didn't,
gonna let them finish
okay, but
this
wait,
up.
and I
I'm the
have
nigga that's
something to
friends
say to
with him,
that.
so I have a different type of story.
But this is my thing, because Ellen DeGeneres did a whole comedy show about relatable.
Yeah.
Because everybody said that there's no way that she could be relatable, and,
let-
and it was good. It was a
But let
good
me say this.
special.
Ellen has also had a talk show for the last, 6-10 years?
I don't know. It's
She
been a
never
while.
took time off. I'm not saying Eddie is
She's
not
still a
Right,
real
right, shit,
comedian.
right.
I'm not
She's
saying
still- okay,
that
yeah.
Eddie
yeah.
isn't.
She
still
do her
funny.
show, but
Like,
then go sell out a 30,000 seater every weekend.
Oh, okay,
Eddie
so she's
has
still been
a-
working.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
undeniable comedy chops.
Timing and chops. yeah.
Timing, but you have to stay on top of that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like somebody that worked out for all their life and then they took 10 years off. Yeah, you know what exercises you need to do to
It's
get
that
back
muscle
into
memory
it,
will
but
come
you can't
back,
go
but-
right back into that.
I
gym
have something to
and
say
lift
off
up
of-
where you stopped lifting that. You can't go right back to that weight.
And I'm gonna pick
you have
up.
to
Hold
work
on.
those reps.
And
Yeah.
your boy
Right.
just made it hard for everybody.
Who?
Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle does make it hard.
Chappelle killed.
I don't think
Well,
I don't think they'll ever.
You
I
can't
don't think
compare the two, but I hear
Chappelle
what you're saying.
Is ever thought for Eddie. Eddie's biggest competition is Delirious and Raw.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
it's
only
his,
thing
it's
he gotta
his.
worry
And see
about.
what's gonna
He'll
happen.
never have to worry about
Unfortunately,
nobody
people are gonna
outside.
try to compare, but I'm gonna start off by
He's a different person. though.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off by piggybacking off what you said. Yes, exactly. It'd be like Eddie Murphy's in the Hall. Let me just use football for example. He's in the Hall of Fame of football, known as the greatest football player ever. Went hard in the paint for 15 years. But like you said, nigga, if you ain't played in a football game for 15 years
That part.
and you forgot how hard it is to get hit by Khalil Mack, nigga, you're not in game shape. You're
part.
not in speed shape. Now,
Conditioning.
remember, let's go back.
Right.
Greatest of all time,
Right.
right? One of the greatest to ever do it. But nigga, timing is timing, seasoning is seasoning, and you to have that comedy timing to get up. Yes, he would have to get up back on stage. Another thing I have to address: being friends with this man for 10 to 15 years now, and going to every fucking party at his house, and seeing the amazing people that he's around, and all the people that are around. He's got us all in the kitchen at one time. When I say the kitchen, he could have a show called the Comedy Kitchen.
All right.
Because for the last 10, 15 years, Eddie's a huge boxing fan.
Okay.
So every fucking huge fight, and I'm not exaggerating, for the last 15 years, I'm talking about from Tyson to Mayweather, he's had big parties at his house.
Right.
With all of Black Hollywood and all us comedians. So imagine this nigga's kitchen with Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, rest in peace, John Witherspoon, Paul Mooney, every comic, all of us, me, there are all the comics, and just sitting there joking for hours.
Oh my
and
God,
all
my head
of
would
us
hurt.
would always be like, nigga, why the fuck are you
this
not
the
back
show.
on stage?
Yeah.
Why would you get up back on stage? You know what that nigga would say in front
What?
of all of us? Yeah, man, but I'm just too rich.
David Wayne
I'm
said
too
the
rich.
same thing.
He said it is hard for him to get into his Phantom and literally drive down the hill and go to the Comedy Store because he's only
Right,
he's
'cause
only
he know
5
he
minutes
got- he
from
gotta
the
work
Comedy
out.
Store, Laugh Factory, from
Right.
where he lives.
Yeah.
Because he's at the top of the hill. I'm at the bottom of the hill. Okay?
Right.
Because I really do live 8 minutes from this nigga, but I'm at the bottom of the hill. I'm 22 years up, and I'm trying to work my way up this hill. Like really, when Eddie says, "Nigga, I'm having a party at the house," I'll be like, "Nigga, I'll see you in 10 minutes."
Right, I'm coming up
Because I'm
the
at the
hill.
bottom of the hill.
Right.
And nigga, I have to go through 2 gates to get to his house.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, long story
got a
short,
compound.
he's
He
just
should.
too rich. But now that he's finally doing it, I gotta address the raw thing.
The Static Podcast is brought to you by the Hester Group, a law office with a 12-year proven track record of success. Now listen, if you've been involved in a serious car accident, you have injuries, your car is a wreck, you need to contact them because they can get you paid today. 314-652-4321. That's 314-652-4321. Tell them Staci Static sent you, but remember, the choice of an attorney is an important one and should not be based solely upon advertisement.